Hello, once again, this is Antonio, and I'm coming at you with another exciting video. Now, we want to dive into this video. This is going to be a quick video, but when I saw it, we report the news on this channel, and we got to report the news. So, more than 100 were indicted on the backs of gang activity. And my question is, why are so many people want to be attached to gangs? That's one reason, and I'm not knocking people in sororities or fraternities. I just don't like following people rules back to back. And why, when you get to my age, or just say over 30, you want to go to jail for 20 and 30 years? When you go to jail that long, it's like you're spending the rest of your life in an institution where you got to tell a person to put money in your books, when to wash, when to eat, when to do all of this other stuff. And it's just not fair to society. So I want to share my screen briefly so we can go ahead and play this video. All right, so it's just a bad set of circumstances on what took place. And it's crazy. Just one metropolitan where it's spread across different metropolitans, but it's definitely something that we need to speak about, and we're going to speak about. So let me just share my screen here so we can go ahead and dive into this video. All right, so I want to make sure my audio's going good. Make sure that audio is going great. So here, this in Metro Atlanta, dozens facing charges and gang violence crackdown. Spalding County sheriff says. And what's so crazy is I'm in Metro Atlanta, and I didn't know Spalding County was this bad. I really didn't know that it was this bad. But this is not one gang. This is multiple gangs. And you know, one day my son came home and he told me, he said, Dad, I always got to keep my head on a swivel because we have gangs in our school. I say, son, you're in middle school. He say, yeah, they got gangs in middle school. And I say, wow, son, and I guess that's me as being a grown man being naive. I'm thinking that the gang violence kicked in at high school, but it's already kicked in now. So multiple law enforcement agencies gathered Thursday to discuss Operation Bloodclot and Operation Krack the Ice. Never even heard of these gangs. I'm happy I had no problems with these gangs, because sometimes once you get in the frying pan with gangs, they will scramble your eggs, baby.
Well, just a few hours ago, the Spalding County Sheriff announced more than 100 indictments tied to gang activity spanning 6 counties. It's part of a multi-agency crackdown all over the state. So let's get you out now to 11 Live's Karis Belger with the newest details for us this evening. Karis?
Well, these charges are tied to two separate investigations involving the Spalding County Sheriff, the GBI, and other agencies. And with the announcement of these charges, we do expect more people will be brought into custody.
They are active participants in this gang who profit from and gain from their gang activities.
A little over 24 hours after his agency began making arrests, Sheriff Darrell Dix
and what they're saying is they're going to expand it. Now, this is already more than 100. So this is what they're trying to do is they're going after more people. And this is not just, if you saw my thumbnail, this gang spans across people, blacks, whites, and other races. This gangs they're arresting a lot of people. And now you're thinking, where in the world are they going to place all these people? When you put gangs in jail, they ain't like they're going to turn Baptist priests, Baptist preachers, they're going to be who they are in jail. But let's carry on.
described how his officers are helping get suspected gang members off the streets.
These indictments specifically targeted the leaders, hierarchy, and chain of command of the gang.
The two initiatives, Operation Bloodclot and Operation Krack the Ice, targeted individuals officials say were not only responsible for trafficking drugs and multiple deadly shootings, they're believed to be responsible for recruiting young children to become members.
Even children in our elementary schools.
Okay, see, now how you heard us say elementary school. And like I said again, I'm the naive one because I am thinking that this goes at high school, like when I was young, right? Now she say elementary school kids are getting botted with these activities. But let's carry on.
Elementary schools are being recruited by gangs, wooed by the idea of quick and easy money.
And look at her mannerism. She is really into this case. She's not playing no games about this. Her mannerisms say, right?
Respect and a sense of belonging.
Sheriff Darrell Dix says the suspects are believed to be responsible for multiple shooting deaths, including Jaquarius Holland, who was killed last summer, and 11-year-old Asia Love Jones, who was hit by a stray bullet that entered her home in March of this year. Tragedies Sheriff Dix says he hopes to avoid in the future.
To gang members out here, go ahead, get out while you can and live a productive life, or you can become a statistic.
Karis, the sheriff mentioned there.
You heard exactly what he said. Live that productive life, or you can become that statistic. That's what he's saying. All right, let's carry on.
There were more than 50 arrests. Do we know if all of those suspects or any of them are in custody?
So a few suspects are in custody, but the sheriff did tell me today that there are at least 19 more people they're working to arrest.
All right, so that's just, but they're actually spans, you know, how, if anybody know anything about Metro Atlanta, you could ride across the street and you could be in Clayton County or you could be in Fulton County. You could ride across the street, you could be Fulton County. And that's just the way it go. You know, so when it said this county, that county, so when it said multiple counties, I think it's like a total of 20 plus counties make up the Metro of Atlanta, and which is 6.1 million people. So the Metro is pretty big. All right, so the Spalding County Sheriff and other officials announced more than 100 indictments tied to gang activity spanning across multiple counties. It's part of a multi-agency crackdown in Georgia. Multiple law enforcement agencies gathered Thursday to discuss Operation Bloodclot and Operation Krack the Ice. Operation Bloodclot resulted in 57 arrests and 76 indictments, and 34 other people were indicted in Operation Krack the Ice. There are active participants in this gang who profit from the gang from their gang activities. Like I said again, the reason why I never joined a gang, I don't like people telling me what to do. Now I know gangs do provide protection and stuff like that, but when it's blood in, blood out in a lot of this stuff. It's blood in, blood out. So once you get in, your family get affected. It's so much. You know, it's just a very dangerous set of results when you get a part of the gang. And you can't snitch. You can't, so much stuff you can't do. You just can't do. The sheriff said his law enforcement officer are helping get suspected gang members off the streets. To gang members out there, get out while you can and live a productive life. Or you could become a statistic and get a GDC prison number assigned. Dix say, one way or the other, if you fool around, you are going to be found out. That's basically what he's saying. The initiatives targeted individuals, officials said, who were not only responsible for trafficking drugs and multiple deadly shootings, but they are also believed to be responsible for recruiting young children to become members. I think sometimes that's just as bad as a sex offender. I feel that way. Yes, I do. recruiting kids to have a never-ending life, a revolving life of crime, and the introduction to the prison pipeline. I think that's just as bad as a sex offender. I feel that way, and nobody gonna change my mind about that. Even other children, even children in our elementary schools are being recruited by gangs, wooed by the idea of quick and easy money, respect, and sense of belonging. Griffin Judicial Circuit District Attorney Marie G. Broader said. Dix said some suspects are believed to be responsible for multiple shooting deaths, including Jaquarius Holland, who was killed last summer, and 11-year-old Asaja Love Jones, who was hit by a stray bullet in March. This is what happens when you come together. You leverage your assets, your resources to do one thing: keep the people off the state safe. Georgia Attorney General Chris Carr said, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation sent a news release about the initiative Operation Krack the Ice. The agent said in 2020 it determined an inmate at the Georgia State Prison in Tiggio County was operating a drug trafficking enterprise from behind bars. Well, I can tell you this. This is not a new operation, and they've been researching these people for a long time. That inmate, Chad Ashley Allen, is serving a life sentence for murder, and according to GBI, is a part of the Ghostface Gangsters. The GBI claims Allen was working with Mexican drug trafficking organizations, DTOs, and other members of the Ghostface Gangsters, Gangster Disciples, Serranos, and Bloods criminal street gangs. From April 2014 to September 2022, investigators said the 34 indicted in Operation Krack the Ice participated in racketeering activity. So, like we see again, what happened, what took place, and what they're going to do, they're going to get these people off the street. So, this is Antonio with Team Tiggio. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And once again, we will see you in the next video.